front. My name is Margo Crawford with Wave Productivity. I'm a productivity coach and I help people get more focused, organized, and productive in their offices. I've been in the organizing industry for nearly 20 years, and I love to be able to share tips and techniques with you so that you can have better days at work. I especially love talking about goal setting. It's one of my most favorite things. A little bit about me. I lived in Arizona for almost a decade and moved back to the East Coast. I am an avid surfer, so I spent the summer hanging out on the beach, catching waves, and teaching other people how to catch waves. I was also a surf instructor just for fun. So, and that's why I named my business Wave Productivity. So I don't want to spend too much time talking. I could talk all day long about surfing. I want to talk about what you'll be learning today, which is closing out the year with a bang, making sure that your fourth quarter goals are great ones that you feel really good about. So you may have started the year super energized. 2020 was a hard hit for a lot of us. So we really went into 2021 feeling really great. This is a new year. We're going to get going. You may have even taken out a piece of paper, wrote out some goals, maybe tucked that piece of paper away and forgot about it. Or you've been working on your goals all along, which is great, but now we're coming to the end and you might feel like you're losing a little bit of motivation. You know, sometimes when we're feeling energized, we set goals and we lose that motivation. We have what I call those big thoughts, those 3 a.m. thoughts, the ones where we wake up and we think, like, why am I here? What am I doing? Is this all there is to life? I know for me, some of those thoughts can be unsettling and kind of scary, that I'm searching for answers, that we all might be searching for answers. But the answers and the clues to those answers are in our goals, because goals can really contribute to a great life. Our goals bring us back to connecting with our hearts and our minds, and connecting ourselves with our values and who we are. So today we're going to be talking about gaining motivation in that last part of the year, action steps we can take, and some ways to decrease stress. Now, there's a goal to this presentation, believe it or not. The goal is that you walk away with some really strong takeaways, something that you know that you can work on in the next quarter that will really make a difference for you and for your business. You can implement them right away, and you'll feel really great about it. For those of you who haven't seen a presentation of mine before, my presentations are set up for different learning styles. So if you're an auditory learner, you get to sit back and relax and listen. If you are a visual learner, take a look at the pictures that are up on the screen, burn those into your memory, because even weeks from now, when you're thinking about the topics that we talked about, you can think about the pictures and it will naturally come back to you. If you're a kinesthetic learner, take notes, doodle, draw, whatever it is you need to do to ingrain the information. So when I start talking to people about goal setting, I don't actually talk to them about goal setting. I talk to them about the feeling that they want to have. So I'm going to share with you a couple of stories. I had a client and they said to me, well, my goal is really, I just want to lose weight. I need to exercise. I know I need to get healthy. And hearing like I need to is a huge red flag for me. So I said, can you dig a little bit deeper into that? You know, what is the feeling that you want to have? Why do you want to be more healthy and lose the weight? And when it came down to it, when we really talked it through, it had nothing to do with goals. It had everything to do with how they wanted to feel. And what they said was, you know, my grandfather was too old and too sick and too tired to play with me when I was a little boy. And I have this opportunity to be part of my grandson's life. And I won't be if I keep the weight on, if I don't exercise. I won't have the energy to play with him. And so he decided that his goal would be to take hikes 3 to 5 times a week, that would get him motivated. It would get him exercising out in the environment. And then he would have the energy to be with his grandson. When I was working with Kelly, and she let me share this story with you. When I was working with Kelly earlier in the year, she really wanted to build revenue for her business. And most business owners do. But the reason why Kelly wanted to increase her revenue isn't because she wanted the money and the greedy parts of that. When it comes down to it, it's really heartfelt. She wants to be able to take her family on vacations because she knows when they have that experience, together they get to relax. And when they get to relax and have fun, they feel that family love that's happening. So it's not about the money, it's all about the love. So my question to you is, if you're setting goals for the last quarter of the year, what is it that you want to feel? Why are you setting those goals? Because when you start to lose motivation, you can get back into the feeling. And when you get back into that feeling, you'll feel the energy that you want to move forward. Because motivation is like a tide. It goes in and it goes out. There are times when it's overflowing on the beach. There's water everywhere. You have motivation and you could go for hours on the work that you have to do. And there's other times where it is a long, exhausting walk on the sand to get to the water. So you're depleted. You don't have a lot of energy and you're feeling like you just can't keep it going. Those are the times when you need to tap into these skills that I'm going to teach you today to stay motivated and connect with your goals. You know, it's so easy to say that we're going to tap into our passion, our energy, and our excitement. But if it's not there, when we hit obstacles and things get in our way, it can be really difficult to get that motivation. So one of the things to really shift is your own self-talk. Oftentimes, things like procrastination, perfectionism will increase, as will our negative self-talk. And if you think about it, how you talk to yourself internally, is that how you would talk to a small child? Would you say the same things you say to yourself internally that you'd say maybe to an 8-year-old? Would you use that same tone? Or do you find yourself internally yelling at yourself for not doing the work? I have a great reminder that I keep at my desk. Here's this little tiny picture of a baby. And that's me. I was just 1 day old. And you can see I have my little arms up by my ears. I'm all snuggled in. I know when I get into that negative self-talk, I would never talk to a baby like that. So I have a picture right on my desk that reminds me that I was once a small child and I would never talk to myself that way, with that tone, with that negative self-talk. So what visual reminder can you have at your desk to remind you to talk to yourself in a positive way? Another thing to motivate yourself is to surround yourself with really smart people. And luckily, you've already done that today. You're surrounded by great people today. If you know someone that's here in this meeting, reconnect with them. Even talk about becoming accountability partners for each other. So you can share your goals with that person and then keep yourselves accountable. Some of you know a great person in Tempe. Her name is Melody Elkin. And many years ago, I went to a workshop that she had done. And she had said, turn to the person next to you and see if you connect with them and become an accountability partner with them. And like I said, that was 6 years ago. On Monday was a phone call that I had with the accountability partner that I have had for the same 6 years. We meet every quarter. Every quarter we review our goals. We talk about what our next action steps are. And then we talk about what did we say we were going to do, and did we do it? We're also in the same industry. We're both in the organizing industry. She does move management. I do productivity coaching. So it's a little different, but we can guide each other as colleagues in our work and really help each other out. So really seek out those smart people who can help you. And they're right in this call today. You'll also want to create an action plan. And this is nothing new. You guys know this, but I just want to review it. You want to assess, pull out your goals right now, assess where are you right now and where do you need to be by the end of the year? And then to do that assessment, really create the time. At the end of this meeting, pull out your schedule, your calendar, and take an hour to really look through what are your goals and what actions do you need to take. And then keep that calendar open and set aside time that you can actually work on those actions. And lastly, you can identify 3 important things. What skills do you need to complete those goals? What resources do you need? And what support do you need? Because in identifying that, you can start to identify some of the gaps that you have so that you can reach that goal. In creating those smaller steps, what you want to create are milestones. So as you're taking those smaller steps, you're building up to a marker that is a milestone. And when you build those milestones, you'll want to be able to track them. So I just want to stop share for a second. Kelly has an amazing tracker for her revenue, and she said she was willing to share it. And to pull in what she did with her family, she had her daughter make a little sign that she could use for her revenue. So Kelly, do you want to share that?
It is very, because my 11-year-old drew it, it's very, very inappropriate. It looks like something inappropriate, which makes me laugh hysterically. But it's supposed to be a thermometer with on it, but it looks like something else. But I love it because I can look at it on my wall all the time, and then I have them help me fill it in as I reach my milestone goals, so that we can look at it together and get to plan our next vacation.
It's great stuff. So in terms of tracking for me, I actually have stickers. They're gold stars, and I will give myself a gold star and see those gold stars accumulating in my calendar, which is lots of fun too. Hold on just one sec while I fix the PowerPoint. Oh, there we go. And lastly, you want to be able to celebrate. So Lori Zerker is in the call today. Lori and I were part of a group of people who every day at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we would all text each other. It was about 10 people. We would text each other something that we were celebrating in the day. It was fantastic. I've continued to do it. It's lots of fun. And you can share with a bunch of people day to day the smaller steps that you're taking, but also to celebrate in the bigger milestones and even at the end of the year, that goal that you end up hitting on. And you might think, well, it is impossible for me. I only have 3 more months. What could I do? That's why it's so important to assess your goals. You may need to change them, and that's okay. But you can make what feels impossible possible. And what you can start to do is look at what are the setbacks that you might have in the last 3 months of this year. When you can define what those setbacks are, you can then define how you can come back from those obstacles. Always remember that it's about the feelings, the feels, feeling good and connecting to your goal with that emotion that you wanted to have, the love of your family, spending time with your grandson. Those are the things that really matter. And then remember to breathe. So one way to decrease your stress is to actually take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale. How often am I with clients when we're sitting and talking about goal setting, and I'll look over and they're like turning bright red, like, oh my gosh, you need to take a breath. So I want us to all do that right now. Take the biggest breath that you have taken all day today in through your nose and exhale through your nose. One more time, really calmly, taking a deep breath in and an exhale. We go through our days feeling so busy, so rushed, going from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting, from project to next project, action step to next action step, that we don't stop to take a breath. Now is our chance to do that. And I encourage you to continue to do that. Each time you set your goals, you have a milestone, you take an action, taking a deep breath.